Hi everyone, welcome again. It's Gina and I am doing my 8th abstract for this series that I seem to be doing. I am starting off with, it's a kind of burgundy. Again, I'm trying to use limited colors. I am planning to keep it as abstract as possible while still doing some mixed media collaging, kind of. So I'm also focusing in this series, I'm also focusing on mixing colors using limited palette. I'm applying my paint onto a virgin page. It doesn't have any gesso, using this palette stick. As well as my finger. It wasn't spreading the way I wanted it to, so I'm just using my finger to help move the paint. And I also have a wipe nearby, which is, it's not too damp, it's not freshly out of the packet, so it's not super damp. But it has some moisture in it so that I could spread the paint that I put down. And as I had said before, I like when I use the wipe because it takes off some of the paint, but it also smooths what is there. So it leaves like a very nice translucent layer on the page. And sometimes when I want a hint of color, it helps a lot for me to use the baby wipe. I'm also working on keeping white space in these abstracts because I tend to use up my entire page when I'm painting, and I tend to not leave much of white space. So that's also something that I have been working on consciously. I also want to try working on a bigger piece, a bigger surface. So I'm kind of intimidated, but that's why I'm still continuing working in this journal. But my mind has been very much on it, and I'm excited to try it, as well as a little bit intimidated. This piece of paper that I'm ripping up, I actually made it using, so in our country we have something called a scrapbook, where we have two types as far as I know. One where we use Bristol board. They take Bristol board and they make a book out of it, different colors. So the pages are different colors. And then the other one, it's more of it's a thinner paper, but it's thicker than regular paper, but it's thinner than the Bristol board. And it feels a little rough. The surface isn't super smooth like Bristol board or regular paper. So I made some marks on that paper with a brayer, which I put rubber bands over, and I rolled it around in paint, and I made those marks with it. These marks that I'm covering up with acrylic paint, it was done by a charcoal pencil. I'm just trying to create some interest on the page, and I like the way that the just random lines look when I use charcoal pencil or pastel or pen or whatever it is to make marks. I like how that looks. So I found it was too intense. That's why I decided to try and cover it up. Well, push it to the back. Not cover it up completely, but just kind of push it to the back, where you could still see it, but not too much. Here I was trying to make some marks, but I hated it, so I just rubbed it off. And now I'm trying to put back in my color because it's gotten very faded, and I really want that burgundy to show. in between making marks, sometimes I would take a little while to make a decision. So sometimes my paint dries on me, and so that's why I would just spritz it a bit. And then where I live, it's hot. We have 2 seasons, dry and rainy. So I use a fan, and my paints dry a lot if I wait too long. Here I'm just spreading the paint using the other side of the spatula, palette stick. I don't know what you call it. But I just wanted to make some more marks, more thin lines, so I decided to use the other end of it to spread it. Here I realized that I made a little boo-boo with how I was drawing around my shapes, because when I first put them down, I put the line next to where my shape was, and then when I put them back, I put it above the line. So I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, because I wanted it on the line. I didn't want it above the line, but I already drew my quote-unquote messy circles above the line. So I said, you know what, I'll still try and work with it. I'll try and fix it somehow. And I'm trying to work with it. Even though I drew the circles above, I still decided to go back to my original plan, which is to have my shape on the line. So here now, I'm using my feather again. I'm really loving painting with this feather, to just kind of help those shapes stand out, because they kind of blending into the page. So I'm still going with the circles that I made, trying to see how it could work, and I'm not really liking it. And then I realized when I did it like that, it wasn't seeing the shape. So that's why I'm going around now the actual shape again, and now we're ending up with more shapes than I wanted. And I'm not liking it at all, and I don't know what to do. I do not know how to fix this. So I'm thinking a bit, and then I decided to go in with some green. Green. So this is me trying to fill in the spaces now to help those shapes stand out. So I'm trying to cover, but at the same time, I don't want to erase everything that happened in the background. So yes, I want to cover, but not completely. So that's why I'm gonna go through a series now of adding and rubbing off, and adding and taking off, trying to help those shapes stand out still, while still keeping the outline. Never thought I would do pink and green, but there you go. Let's see how that turns out. This process of trying to fix this was a bit frustrating, because I was so determined to still put those shapes on the line. It kind of really, it made it very different, but yeah, it made it very different. Here now I'm trying to fix it up because I decided to keep the marks going straight up and off the page, just like it does below. I've finally gotten it to show up. Those shapes, I've finally gotten them to show up, so I'm kind of starting to feel like I'm getting somewhere. I'm trying to put back my lines, just because I liked how they looked. And then I think on this side, I decided that I wanted it to kind of fade out instead of be so intense. And to make the lines a little more organic, I decided to use a feather to draw them in and to use color instead of the regular black. And I decided to just go over the shape instead of painting it as if it was behind it, because I felt like it would have been too much drama for me to try and stop and make it look like it naturally stopped and then I put the shape on top. So I just did that. And then I decided, hey, why not just, stamp my feather? And of course I want to put some splatters. And that's it. I hope you like it. Let me know in your comments and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!